Hi guys, it's April and this is the first tour of September and it is chilly out. So it actually feels like it's fall right now, even though I know we still have a couple more weeks before the official start of fall. But right now we're probably maybe at 60 degrees. Our nights have been getting pretty cold. And this past week, since my last garden tour, we've had about 3 inches of rain. So the garden has been dealing a little bit with the chaotic nature of nature, I guess. I haven't been out here as much as I've wanted to be because of all of the rain that just kept on coming. There are a few tomato plants that are starting to really suffer because of it, and there's some stuff on that I didn't get to harvest and they're starting to rot. I'm actually contemplating probably ripping out the tomato plants within the next week or two, but we'll see. I say that and then it'll be October by the time I actually get them out. But that is where my headspace is at right now. I'm thinking about starting to pull the garden out because I think for the most part I am done with a lot of what is going on back here, except for the winter squash. I'm ready for the winter squash. Let me show you. I'm gonna try and make this a full garden tour today since this is the first tour of September. So I have to show you how chaotic the strawberries and the chives are growing together underneath this peach tree. I might have to do a little bit of manicuring of some of this chive. I know that some of this is grass that I need to come in and pull, but most of it is chives. But here's what I'm saying. We got so much water and it then drops so low that a lot of the plants are really starting to die back. And I know the squashes have been for a while, but we do have, you can actually see the pumpkin now. We've got this pumpkin right here that I'm excited about, and I think we will actually get to put out on the front porch and be like, I grew this, which was the whole main reason that we got the original pumpkin that these seeds came from. Let's see, we've got the pots. I never really show you the pots very much, mainly because, I mean, it's just a bunch of green and pots. So we've got these guys. I actually haven't gotten any tomatoes from that plant. It's just all been green growth. I've got a couple from that one, and then this, what is it, lemongrass has been doing somewhat okay, but not as well as this one right here. This lemongrass has just been thriving. But this tomato plant, not so much. I have gotten 1 or 2 tomatoes off of it, but at some point it split. These cages probably weren't the best choice for these, but I just like how they look in pots. And maybe if I actually use them a little better, things might have gone better. But that's kind of where those sets of pots are. But it's these pots over here that I think have been doing the best. We've got several pepper plants. This is a geranium that has just been loving life. I need to come through and harvest some of these peppers. This is Pippin's Golden Honey. It's probably my new standout of the year. I've absolutely been loving those. I have 2 plants. I've got one here and one in ground, and they are the pepper plant that started early and has just been continuing to produce, which I really, really like. And it looks like I kind of had some tomatoes over here, but they were eaten in malform, so I'm okay. But I can watch this one right here, and maybe we'll get one off of this guy. That's exciting. I think there are some on the other side that are starting to turn, so let's see if I can get over there. Oh yeah, it kind of split and all that, but I can still, not this one, I probably won't use that one back there, but I could still probably use this guy right here. I need to remember what plant this is. I think this is a wild Fred. If I remember. No, this is a Metallica. And then I'll come back with gloves to get that other one off. But yeah, that's this set of pots over here. I did want to come over here and show you some of the sunflowers that are growing through here. A lot of them are just falling over, but there are some really pretty ones if you look past all of the bugs. Those aren't pretty, but I kind of let this corner just do whatever it wants to do, because then it attracts all kinds of good bugs and fun pollinators. I think it was maybe a couple days ago when it wasn't raining. Yes, I found one that I was seeing all kinds of caterpillars. Now, I can for sure say this one is a monarch caterpillar. And I know there's probably a couple more in here, but I'm just so excited to see them in the garden this year. So I'm just letting them be. I do know that, maybe it was a month ago, I was showing you a caterpillar in here, which looked like this, which is actually swallowtail butterfly, which is half the reason I just left the carrots that were starting to go to seed. I'm just letting them go to seed. But I have been harvesting off of the rest of this. I may have let a few of them go a little too long. So they were really big carrots, which is fine. You just have to use them a little bit differently. But this bed it's kind of starting to say that, I'm kind of done, but I'm still producing eggplants. This tomato plant was never really super happy, unfortunately. But I did want to show you all of the growth on these great plants. I think next year's task will be to replace the ones that never came out of dormancy. But the 4 I do have, I'm pretty thrilled with. But that also brings me back to this bed right here and watching whatever weed this is just kind of grow and do its thing. I'm still slightly convinced it's a sunflower, but it's been growing really fast. I should really probably pull that. Oh, and hey, it looks like we've got a lot of, of these. Oh, that's exciting. Hold on. I grew these for the first time last year. These are the California tulips, and I really, really like them. I've been struggling with my sauce tomatoes, and it's good to see at least a few, because these were the original plants that was making me think about just like pulling everything out, because I hate looking at them. They're just... Okay, I have to remember to come back and get those. This is my reminder that those are there. So when I'm editing and I didn't bring those in, they're right there. But yeah, these aren't really looking at all great. But the same cannot be said about these beans right here. These beans are looking wonderful. I almost want to put beans everywhere at this point. It's probably a little too late for that, but beans. There is only one basil plant and one tomato plant left in this bed. And that tomato plant is really starting to thrive. I highly doubt I'll get any fruit off of it. But I left it there. I guess there is a pile of onions that I haven't harvested that are still kind of just there, and a stump of a tomato plant that's coming back. I did also leave some onions here, and these tomato plants have really starting to grow. And yeah, see, that's kind of a similar wheat than what's growing in my other bed. I should just pull that and not risk it at this point. I don't know. But this is where I'm getting a majority of my tomatoes right now. And these are usually like big slicer tomatoes. My snacker sizes have kind of just gotten a little too sickly to continue to produce. And I think I've got that one I don't want, but these ones I think are going to be good. And I think there's a nice yellow one back there that I'm going to come back and harvest. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot left on the vine, and then all of that rain hit. And then between the grasshoppers and everything else, I've got a lot just sitting out here and fermenting in ways that I'm just like, I don't want to put my hands in there. So I need to get some good gloves and then come out here and start cleaning up. But the kiwi, look at the kiwi. Kiwi are looking fabulous. Even the new kiwi plant back there. I keep calling it new. This week it's like 3 weeks old. And the zinnias are finally coming into their own. None of them really look like the picture of the cupcake zinnias that all these seeds are from, but I can't be too mad at it. They're really still kind of pretty. And then the candy cane ones I got at the store are looking good. I need to come and pull that milkweed. I don't want that milkweed there, and if I leave it too long, it's just going to take over. But yeah, this corner is looking nice. It looks like I need to come and clean the pond again. Or I just have to think about draining it and not worrying about it. Ooh, and over here, this pepper plant, this is the pumpkin spice jalapeno. It looks like I've got some jalapenos over here I need to come harvest. That's exciting. Oddly enough, I've just been letting the stevia plant just go. I haven't actually harvested anything off of it. I really should. But the pots are starting to become overwhelmed with the squash vines. This whole area is a disaster of vines, but you can definitely see where the old stuff has died back. And then it's just taking over the walkway. I've got a squash just hanging out right here. And then these tomato plants being smothered. I mean, they weren't doing too well to begin with, but they're starting to become smothered. Cleanup is going to be a disaster this year. What I should do is come and get some of these flowers and think about doing something like stuffed blossoms. I don't know, that could be fun. I like experimenting. But yeah, I've got some more tomato plants over here. These ones on and off give me some tomatoes. As you can tell, they're a little healthier than what was back there. And from this side, you can see how very smothered they've become. And then all the stuff over there. There used to be a cucumber plant, but it has since decided that it was done. Some more dwarf tomatoes. I have been, of course, now starting to get a lot more peppers. Surprisingly, not the hot peppers. I might have to start harvesting some of my hot peppers green And I haven't got any ahi peppers yet this year, which I'm a little sad about. I don't know if I'm going to. But the sweet peppers have been doing pretty well. So I am excited about those. I dehydrated a bunch of them just yesterday because I had so many coming in, and I already have so much in the refrigerator and the freezer, and a guinea pig can only eat so many peppers a day. So yeah, those are the pepper beds. And then we've got the beets that I should come through and harvest and process. That'll probably happen probably in the next week or so. But you can tell where I didn't plant any beans after the peas died out, because this is truly empty now. Because the beets never fully came out when I thought they were going to. So I didn't get to planting behind that. But I have been getting beans off of these bush beans. I believe they're red swans. But I haven't seen any runner beans yet. I keep seeing blossoms and things like that. But I haven't seen any beans. And I haven't seen beans from these runner beans either. And that dwarf tomato plant, I don't know if I'm ever going to get anything from. But there is a pepper plant and a tomato plant back there. Still waiting to see what I can get from that. But look at how well that spinach plant is doing. With the cool weather, like truly here, it's looking good. And this cabbage is starting to head up, but I have zero idea what might be living in it. So we'll see if I actually harvest that or not. But you can see the powdery mildew because of the weather temperatures and everything that's been going on. I wonder if this peach is finally ready. It's getting there, still a little firm, but it could be any day now for that. My one peach, and I've got my blueberry plants that are looking good. And of course, the squash that is all the way over here. This is the spaghetti squash. There are several fruits in different places that I've been keeping an eye on. Looks like that one cracked a little bit. Might still be good. I don't know. But yeah, this is the garden. I think we have, ooh, that's pretty ripe. I might be able to harvest that tomorrow. That's the garden in all of its wonders and glories and mess. So I need to go back and pick up those tomatoes, and I think I will harvest those pumpkin spice jalapenos while I'm thinking about that, so that I don't miss those. And there was that one tomato, that yellow tomato that I pointed out to you, that I need to go and pick up as well. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna edit this video, get it up for you guys to watch. But I do try to do these videos once a week, so I have a record of how the garden is growing and changing, and I can look back at it and just kind of remember where things are at. Usually I have a couple years up now on my YouTube channel of the garden, just so I have that record. But if you would like to continue on this adventure with me and seeing how the garden is going to go for the next month or so, my guess is we're going to actually have a freeze a little earlier this year, probably at the beginning of October rather than the middle of October, which I don't know if I'm going to get any daikons into the ground this year. Things have kind of shifted on me a little bit. But I do also have an Instagram and Threads account. I like to keep that updated on what I'm preserving and what I'm harvesting, so you can check me out over there as well. But like I said, I'm gonna go and I'm going to pick up the harvest, and then I'm gonna edit this video. I do hope I will see you guys again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.